Chairman, I think that everybody agrees here that it's a very deep crisis, but I think that we have to make not a mistake from the beginning of this debate to say that it is not a Greek debt crisis. The Greek debt crisis is maybe the trigger, but what is really at stake is a deep crisis in the Eurozone. And first of all, I think that what we need is to make an analysis of why we are in this crisis today. What went wrong? And I think, colleagues, the reason is simple. We have made, first of all, a mistake of strategy in the beginning when we launched the euro. We have launched a monetary union, but we didn't launch an economic and a fiscal union. And we know that it is impossible to have one single currency with 17 different governments, 17 different bond markets, 17 different economic strategies that does not exist anywhere in the world. Why should it exist then in Europe alone? And I think we also have made a mistake of method. What we have used the last 10 years in Europe is a bad method, a weak method, an intergovernmental method. And markets thus simply not believe that member states can produce enough discipline and enough solidarity to keep together a single currency. And that we need, in fact, that is what markets are asking for. For the first time, we have markets who are not asking for more deregulation, nor they are asking for more unity in Europe, for a transfer of power to the European level. That is the request of the financial markets of today. And I think also, finally, to complete the analysis, Chairman, that we have also made a bad attitude, that we got a bad attitude the last 18 months since the start of the crisis. We have seen political leadership in Europe, in the member states, with stop-and-go policy, a cacophony, half measures, and in any way a lack of a global approach. And that is what we need now. And we need to hear from the European Commission. What is the global approach that can stop the crisis and then create again confidence in the markets? What do we need? I think that we need 4 building blocks, and it is to the European Commission to come forward with these 4 building blocks. The first is a real economic governance and economic government. And excuse me, the proposals of Mrs. Merkel and Mr. Sarkozy of a few weeks ago are not doing the job. A government of heads of states and government seeing each other twice a year, that's not a government. In my opinion, governments see each other twice a week and not twice a year, as in the proposal of Merkel and Sarkozy. And the second thing we need, the second building block, Mr. Chairman, is very clear also. We need a Eurobond market. A Eurobond market because the ECB cannot continue ever to buy bonds of countries in difficulties. That is not possible. So we need a Eurobond market, because what is the situation today in Europe? The situation is, the real situation in Europe is that the bond market in Europe is completely blocked. There are no banks today, insurance companies, pension funds, institutional investors who are still buying bonds of a number of European countries, and we are now depending on savings from Latin America and Chinese to have enough liquidity in Europe for a number of bonds of European countries. That is the situation. So you have the choice, and in Germany you have the choice, and the FDP has the choice. I shall be very bluntly about this. Or we continue with that situation, where we are depending, in fact, from savings outside Europe, or we create a European bond market now. And it is urgent to do it now and not to wait until the end of the year, as some are proposing it. And my third proposal, the third building block is a Growth and Job Act in Europe. We need growth. Let's do what also the US government has done, announce a growth and job pact in Europe. And finally, Mr. President of the Council, we need the Stability Pact, the six-pack. Let's be honest, yesterday we received new proposals from your side, and we are going backwards instead of forwards. I thought we got an agreement for real automaticity also in the preventive form in the Stability Pact. That it is no longer the Member States who have the lead, but that it is the Commission who has the lead. While in the new proposal, the last proposal that I have seen, it's again the opposite. Well, I say there is no deal if the Member States don't understand that it is the Commission who has to be in the lead of the Stability Pact and not longer the Member States, what not longer works in Europe.
Thank you, Mr. President.
Mr. President, my final message is clear. We want that the European Commission puts a global proposal and a global approach on the table of Parliament and the Council. And I can tell you, Mr. Barroso, do that. It's the only way to put confidence in the markets. That's a huge global initiative by the Commission, backed by the European Parliament. And if you do that, you can count on this European Parliament.
Thank you, Mr. President. Is a blue card proposal to you.